Now, before I go into the conversation, into what I have to say today, I want to start by saying attitude is very important. Attitude is very important in whatever we do. I want to start with this quote by Thomas Jefferson. He's a former president of the United States of America. And he says, nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. However, nothing on earth can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. So before we go into talking about money today, let's understand that attitude is very important. The self-discipline that helps one grow wealth and keep wealth and expand wealth in your hands also has to do with attitude. If you take all these money skills and the financial fitness skills that we're talking about today, if you take them away and you don't, and your attitude is poor, then you will not get to the maximization or the level of your wealth that you're supposed to get to. Excuse me. I also like to encourage people around the call. You're not going to get everything that I want you to know from the few hours that we'll share in the next 5 days, but please connect to the resources that we have online. I have loads of articles on my website. Please sign up for our newsletters. We share new tips in the periodic newsletters. And also feel free to follow my Instagram page. I try to teach something valuable, put a tutorial online daily. We also have our Twitter handle there. So you can follow us online. And for those that have registered for this, the workshop this year, if you want the slides, I would email them to you, the slides from all the speakers. Today's outline, I have 1 hour and I really want to touch these 5 things and I'll try my best. Some of these things, because I do recognize that we have very matured people around the call as well. But it is important that some of these things are things that we hear about and we don't just pay attention to. Don't look down on any of the concepts that we'll be talking about today, but try and connect to it and see how it can help you grow money or create wealth. We all know what is happening. Some people think that it's the wrong time or that there's no need to talk about financial education or financial literacy because things are tough. But it is because things are tough that we need to do things better. And that's why we need to pay attention and really be in control of our money. I'll try to explain the concept of financial freedom, which many people overlook. I'll also share some tips on building good financial foundation. And then I will introduce the ESI model and some tips for financial freedom. And if we can't get to it, some money mistakes to avoid. There's something called financial freedom. For most of us, we think we go to school, we get certificates, we get degrees, and then we get, paid employment and we begin to work for people, work for organizations and corporations. And there's nothing wrong with that. But we just need to approach this with an understanding that there is something called financial freedom. Now, financial freedom is achieved when you have enough money or income to pay your living expenses for the rest of your life without having to be dependent on anyone or any job. Financial freedom means getting to the place where you have enough resources to take care of your needs and your wants without having to depend on an individual or depend on a job. Now you can ask, how can you do that? How can that be achieved if you don't work? Now, that can be achieved if you don't work when you begin to get your money to work for you. Can you hear me? Pastor Lily, can you hear me? I'm getting some comments.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So if you're not hearing, please join with your audio. I can see some Oliver Modu raising hand. If you can't hear me, please exit and join with your audio. I don't think it's from this end. Now, you may say, how can one achieve financial freedom? How can you get to a place where you don't work for, you don't need to be dependent on a job or somebody to make money? Thank you very much, Daniel Marcos. You can hear very well. But the way to achieve that is to build what we call passive income. So stay with me on this, please. There are some concepts that I'll be putting on the table today. I've talked about financial freedom. I'm going to talk about financial fitness because you need to be financially fit to achieve financial freedom. Now, the concept that I want you to hold on to right now is passive income and active income. So building passive income and getting to a place where your passive income exceeds your expenses is the place of financial freedom. Now, what is passive income and what is active income? Passive income is money that you generate some people who are not financially literate do not understand the difference between active income and passive income. When you work for money, you earn active income. That is money that you make from being in someone's paid employment, or money that you're making from running your business actively. You wake up, you get to business or to your workplace at 7 a.m. and then you're at that employment or your business place till 5 p.m. That is active income. Now, I want you to take away something, that there is what we call passive income, and that can only be obtained when money works for you, when money begins to do the work that you should be doing, and that's the money you earn. You earn passive income when money works for you. Now, financial freedom can only come, or you achieve financial freedom, when your passive income exceeds your financial requirements, your needs and your wants. Okay? And the goal is we want to move from active income to passive income, because if you don't have inheritance and you're not like having money falling into your laps, then you must build up active income and apply that active income to begin to generate passive income for you. So stay with me. We're talking about active income and passive income. And I'm saying to you that so many people are focused on making active income. They want the best jobs. Fantastic. They want to work in an oil and gas company. They want to become consultants, medical consultants. Fantastic. That's fine. But that is active money. They're making money. They're working hard for the money. But do you know that the best place to be in is to get passive income? So you build up active income, which you then use to begin to generate passive income. When we get to the ESI model, we'll talk more about that. So we have talked about financial freedom today. We said there is a place, and every one of us is able to get to that place irrespective of your age. Anyone can get to financial freedom. And the reason why we're paying attention and saying, people, come and hear us, no matter how old you are, come and hear us, and start to understand these concepts early in life, so that when you go to school, you get academic certifications and all of that, you do understand that there is something called financial freedom. And you're beginning from the first day of your career or being in paid employment, working actively for money, to understand that you need to build passive income, because you want to get to the place where your passive income can exceed your expenses, and then you have financial freedom. Now, there is also making money, and there is also creating wealth. Please put your questions in the Q&A box, because if you put them in the chat, they'll get lost. So please put your questions that you want us to deal with in the question and answer box. Thank you very much. Now, having explained active income and passive income, I also want to point attention to making money and creating wealth. When you work so hard, medical consultants are paid very well. They make so much money abroad and in Nigeria. So, but they work very hard. They're making active income. They are making money, they'll be on call, they'll do all of that. Well, you see, making money and creating wealth is not the same thing. And that's what we want you to pay attention to by being part of this workshop. What we want to do is we want to create wealth. Yes, we want to make money, but that money must work for us and expand in our hands and generate wealth. They are not the same thing. Making money is active income. Creating wealth, you begin to build it up from passive income. Now, I want to talk, because I say no matter your age, especially the young ones around the call, we want people to understand that, we started with attitude. I talked about attitude at the beginning. Now, this is a gentleman on my screen right now. He's a musician. Not only in the UK, he's everywhere, all over the world. The other time he was invited, and I have one of my friends, my sister, saying to me that, is it true that Rima was paid $3 million to play maybe for 1 hour at, the wealthiest family in India? They were all over the internet a while ago, the Ambani wedding. Now, is it true that Rema was paid $3 million and this person converted it to Naira? I said, yes. Now, the reason I put Rema here is that every one of us, irrespective of our background, can begin to build wealth, not only for ourselves, but also for the future. Now, if you follow Rema's story, and indeed, he was even in the news over the weekend when he went to donate some money to his church. And he said that he was very poor, it was very poor. But you see, he understood, or he understands that in spite of his background, he has to change things for his family and his generation. Now, stay with me. I know not all of us would be a Marvin signee and make money like Rema, but there are things that we can do to break the chain of poverty. Now, some people are born with golden spoons in their mouths, and some are born with wooden spoons. Allow me to say it like that. But some people are born into privilege and others are not. But you see, everyone, irrespective of whether you're born into a privileged home or not, you can create wealth and you can break the chain of poverty. That's why I put this example here, that we must have that mindset, that attitude, that desire to want to break a chain of poverty and do things better. And stay with me, because I do know there are some people around the call who are very privileged. Now, you may be privileged, right? You may be privileged, but if you get inherited money and you don't manage it well, it's going to what's the word not to use? It's going to vanish. Now, we're going to have one of our speakers talk to us. I'm sure that when Mr. Niya Jibola talks to us, he's going to use examples of people who have mismanaged their funds in the past. Quickly. Now, with financial freedom, you can do what you like. You can afford your holidays. You can do what you like when you like, right? What you like when you like. Without having to ask someone for a ticket. You're not going to ask your uncle, your auntie, or your employer for a ticket, but you already have money making money for you. And this is just introductory. What I'm doing today is just an introduction. The other speakers are going to speak about how to make money. Madam Shana will be talking to us from Canada. She's going to talk to us about how we can even make money from debt. We not only say don't borrow, but she will teach us that when we borrow right and apply to the right things, we can create wealth. We can make money even from taking loans, do businesses and all of that. How is the question? And that's why we have this workshop. How is the question? We're going to have Mr. Ayode Jebu talk to us about investing. ABC of investing. No matter what you have in your hand, you can invest. And it's investments that generate passive income. Quickly, stay with me. The next concept I want to share with you today is what we call net worth. And now net worth is very important because if you understand the things that I'm talking about, if you understand the financial freedom, financial fitness, you understand passive income, active income, all the things that I'm explaining, and you don't keep an eye on net worth, you're going to lose it. You're going to miss it. Now, what is net worth? Now, I am not going to complicate things because we're not doing accounting and we're not doing a financial analysis here. But it is important that you understand that each one of us around the call, as we are seated or wherever we are, we have something called net worth. What are you worth? Your net worth is the difference between what you own and what you owe. Remember, I said we have gone past the place where we say borrowing is wrong. Now, you can borrow and you can have liabilities, but those liabilities must be working towards generating income for you. So at any point in time, every one of us around the call must have an eye on our net worth. And please don't worry if right now what you have is net liabilities. That is why financial literacy, financial education, and staying connected to mentors and coaches like our community is very important. So we help you walk from a position of net liability to a position of net assets. So if you're owing today, we'll hold your hand, we'll guide you if you make yourself available, of course, and then we teach you the right things to do so that you move from owing to owning. But you have to keep an eye on your net worth to make sure that at any point in time, your target is to have a net asset position. So, some of these things, you can just work hard and do a business and all of that without, focusing on the right things. You need to know what you're worth. A positive net worth means that you own more than you owe. When you have a negative net worth, it means that you're owing more than you own. Now we will get to it because you see, when you're setting your financial target, You can say, this is the position that I am at today, but by the end of the year, this is where I want to be. I don't want to owe this much, because honestly, sometimes you have to be owing if what you are borrowed for is generating income for you. Now, quickly, well, let me explain it further. If you know, can you put down your hand? We will take your question later. If you can't hear, please exit and rejoin us. Now, what are assets? Assets are anything that, that's things that are valuable to you. Your money in your bank, your phone, your car, jewelry, your investments, your shares, your stocks, your bank balances. Those are assets. Now, liabilities are things that you owe. Sometimes to go to school, you have to borrow. We don't have credit card usage so much in Nigeria. But outside, people that have joined us from outside Nigeria, they understand credit card. And some people over leverage, and so they have too much of that. Those are things that are liabilities, things that you need to pay back to someone. Anything you owe is a liability. Quickly, I want to go to the tips. And like I said, this is just preamble to let you know the things that you should focus on. If there's any concept that we're putting on the table today that you would like to understand better, please feel free. My community is available to handhold and help people that want to be helped. I'm going to share with you quickly some tips to good financial foundation. The first thing is what we're doing today. And honestly, many people do not understand that, financial literacy is very important. And what is financial literacy? Educating yourself about money habits, about, financial fitness concepts, budgeting, tax planning, retirement planning, all of that. Now, financial literacy is very important. If you want to have a good financial foundation, you must pay attention to financial literacy. And you have to be intentional about it. I like the word deliberate and intentional, because sometimes we just wake up. I say to people that some people, especially if you live in Lagos, they just live in that circle of waking up at 4 a.m., getting into the car, driving or taking a bus, whichever way, getting to their workplaces, closing late and running back home. They're just working. And they're not thinking about how is this work going to translate into wealth for me. And so we have to be intentional and deliberate. You must pay attention to it. Just like a lady who wants to lose weight, you pay attention to the things that you put in your mouth. Now, one of the opportunities, or one of the things that this workshop offers is the fact that you can get to be mentored and you can get to work with a finance coach. Now, if before today, you did not have someone that you look up to help you with money, when it comes to money, you must make sure that you must make sure that you have a mentor and that you have a coach that you're working with. Please, I'm a finance coach today, but trust me, I have people who still mentor me. I have people that I go to when I have money decisions to take. Please do not walk alone, W-A-L-K, and do not work alone, that's W-O-R-K. Now, you must have a plan. You must have a financial plan, the strategy. How are you going to move from point A to point B? Thank you, Sunday, Ejobi, for encouraging me. You're learning. Thank you very much. You must have a financial plan. How are you going to move from point A to point B? So these are things that we all need to focus on if we want a good financial foundation. Now, because today and the next few days was going to break things down for younger people. Now, if you're a young person, and even, trust me, adults, you must read good money books. You must read good money books. And if you're a young person here, make sure that you're connected to a club or a group where you can receive mentoring and coaching. YouTube is free. You don't have to pay. If you don't want to see the adverts, that's when you pay, I think, about 1,500 Naira monthly. I don't know what it is now in the new time. But there are so many podcasts on money tips on YouTube, right? I tell you, I'm a finance coach today, but I still have my son sending me links to podcasts to listen to improve myself. And so I want to encourage you people, whether you're a young person or an adult around the call, how about a plan to listen, to learn about money, to read a good money book? Yeah, we all use data to watch Netflix and do many things online. Create time to make sure that you're learning something about money online on a regular basis. Now, here are some good books to read, and Thanks to one of the partners of Finance Coach BK community, we have some of these books to give out for free. So there is this book you can read, Not Your Parents' Money. There is also the I Want More Pizza, the personal finance, reward money skills for high school, college, and people beyond high school. Of course, the most popular of the really popular, Rich Dad Poor Dad for teens, The Secrets About Money that you don't learn in school. Some of these books are available on audio, so they are all available. Somebody has read that book, they're available on YouTube as well. All right, there is also another one, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind and The Richest Man in Babylon. The Richest Man in Babylon was highly recommended by the last speaker that I had on my talk show. Yes, I already mentioned that if you're a teenager or a young person around the call, you need to stretch yourself and look for a word club. I do have a word club for young people. If you follow the link on my Instagram bio, the link is there. The link is also on my website for you to be able to join this club. And we would mentor you, teach you things regularly. And when the opportunities for investment and for savings, we'll share with you. And so you have someone to handhold you. I already mentioned that I teach about money daily online. Please feel free to connect on any of my pages. Yeah, these are things. Now we talked about mentoring and coaching. Make sure that you do have a mentor, someone you look up to. Now I want to share with you a quote by Benjamin Franklin, and we all know it. He says, well, not that we all know it, but it's very popular. He says, when you fail to plan, then you're planning to fail. If you don't have a financial plan, how do you want to move from point A to point B? Then you're not planning to get to point B. You're planning to fail in getting to plan B. Now, there are three types of targets and financial targets that we should have. And it's very important, no matter your age or your experience around the call, these three things we must focus on. Our short-term goals, our medium-term goals, and our long-term goals. Short-term goals, what do you want to achieve financially in the next 12 months? Within 1 year, what do you want to achieve? Do you want to stop, do you want to reduce your expenses? These are just examples. Or do you want to save better? In the medium term, within 5 years, what do you want to achieve? And then beyond 5 years, we do have a series of conversations around money concepts and all sorts of financial fitness things. If we were talking about retirement today, I would say the day you start working is the day you start planning for your retirement. Those are things that fall under long-term goals. How do you want to end up? How long do you want to work for your current employer? How long? You have to be strategic. How long? Because you see, we started with attitude. When you're strategic, those are the things that will help you and guide you in the choices and decisions that you make, even when you're building active income that will then eventually become passive income. Now, quickly, I want to introduce to you, it's a favorite of this community. Everyone who is connected to this community knows about the ESI model. Now, the ESI model says that if you want to grow wealth, if you want to be financially free, remember where we started from. If you want to be financially free and you want to grow wealth, then in whatever you do, wherever you find yourself, you want to aspire to earn more. Your desire is to earn more than you're earning. I was using the examples of medical consultants earlier on. Even the medical consultants must aspire to want to earn more. So the E in the ESI model says, whatever you're doing, you must aspire to earn more. And I think I have a slide to explain it further down the road. Then you must also save better. Some people think they cannot save because things are hard, things are bad, but that's not true. Stay with me. Somebody said, people will say, I haven't even eaten well, how am I going to save? But it is possible. And then the I of the ESI model means invest well. Quickly, I would try and break it down further before my time is up. Now, under earn more, people around the call, must understand that earning from one single source of income will not take you to your financial target or help you to grow wealth as quickly and as fast as you want to. You must tell yourself, and if you're a young person here, there's nothing wrong with getting academic certifications and qualifications. That's necessary. But when you get your academic certifications and all of that, and you're in paid employment, you must say to yourself that you're not going to earn income from just one source. Sometimes I like to, force people to think. And I put on my post, some of the teachings online, and I ask the question, if you lose your job today, what would you do? If you lose your job today, what would you do? Now, the E in the ESI model says that we are able to earn money from more than one source of income. The E also focuses on the fact that time is money. We like to say that the poor and the rich man all have 24 hours. So it is how you apply the 24 hours that will determine whether you're growing wealth or you're walking away or walking backwards from financial freedom. So if you're taking anything away from the ESI model today, it is for you to understand that, yeah, I have a good job today, but I can also earn money from another source. Now, the people that would come and talk to us about investments will teach us the other possibilities of making money. So bear with me, understand with me this evening that it is possible for you to earn money from other sources, to earn money from more than one source of income. And that it is important that you handle your time well. If you're taking a paid employment or if you're applying your time, make sure that you're getting the best value for your time. Now, we don't have time around the call. For this, I would have loved, and you can actually still put in a chat box, please. Now, so Warren Buffett, who is a seasoned investor, most investment platforms know him. He says, if your salary is your only source of income, you're one step away from poverty. Can you please put in the chat box if you agree, yes or no? We're still talking about multiplicity of income. I can see loads of yeses. Oh, okay. So we all understand the E then. Fantastic. So it says if your salary is the only source of income, you're one step away from poverty. I'm yet to see no. Everybody is saying yes. Fantastic. So we do understand the concept of having a second source of income. Now, Jaden Smith is the son of Will Smith. We know, if you watch movies, you will know him. He's an American, and he's like his father is an actor. But what is interesting about Jaden Smith is that in spite of being an actor, he has a company that makes health products, so bathroom products and plastics. So he makes money not only from acting, he makes money from that business concept as well. So he believes, and he's a young person. I honestly don't know how old he is now, but he's quite young. And so he already understands that he cannot just sit back. Actors and actresses are well paid, but he's not going to sit back and say, oh, that's all I can make money from. He makes money from, the health products that he produces. He produces like a bathroom sets for prisoners, and supplies plastics. Is it substitute to plastics? Sorry, substitute to plastics in America. Now, if you know, because I want to take a break with my voice, if you know any of these artists, please put their name in the chat box. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Abdurrahman, Abdurazak, thank you. Abi Bayobami. Yes, please put in the box. Thank you. Somebody says Odogu. All right. Adewale, I couldn't get your name. The chat moved so quickly. It says, are they gospel artists? Point well taken. Excellent. All right. I just wanted to get you people, participate in the conversation. Now, the reason I brought these three people is because they are well known. They're not gospel artists, they are secular artists, but they're very well known in Nigeria. And if you're living outside the country and you don't know them, they're also very well known, outside the country. I've been in Uber cars outside this country, and it's either they are playing Burna Boy or they are playing Davido music or whiskey. They're internationally known artists. Now, the reason I'm using them as an example of people, with multiple streams of income is because they don't rely just on their music. Please put in the chat box if you know any endorsements that any of them has been involved in. Davido, Whiskey, Burna Boy. Any endorsement that you're aware of? Pepsi. Which of them did Pepsi now? Somebody said Monty or Rhino Bonner. Okay, so you do understand. So it's not just their music. At the point, Wizkid was the face of Standard Chartered Bank, Standard Chartered Bank. And I remember I fell in love with that advert because it was him calling his mom, and I think his mom asking him for something, and he was like, "I'll do it, mom, you get the alert," or something. Very nice advert. Now, these people don't rely on just the music or the songs that they're singing around. Yeah, so they do. Somebody says whiskey and UBA. Okay, so they do endorsements, and I started it, but it's also another way of making money, So the point is well understood. The point is well understood. We shouldn't stick with just one sort of income. So you can turn your passion into money. And last year we had a session on multiple streams of income, what to do and what not to do. And you can get that video on our YouTube page. There's so many ideas in that conversation of what you can do and what you cannot do. Now, I will leave the end more there because the concept is well understood I can see from the chat box. Now, save better. And this S in the ESI model says, no matter what you earn, you must learn to put something away as savings. You must learn to save better. And if you're saving today, you can save better. Honestly, these are simple concepts. They are easy things that if you pay attention to, and workshop, you also can do things that way and things can improve for you. Now, no matter what you earn, have a desire to put something away as savings. If you earn so much money and you don't save, it means all the money that you're earning, you're using to pay bills. You pay bills and you're giving everything out. You're not keeping anything for yourself. The only thing you keep for yourself is what you save. Now, in order to save better, you have to have a financial plan, a strategy, what you need to do, what you won't do, when you want to do those things, and what you want to apply yourself to. You must have a plan. A plan may include you borrowing some money at some point in time to have a business or to grow a business. But you must have a plan. And then in order for you to save better, you must have a budget and you must track. Now we're not doing deep dive into budgeting, but a budget is a document that tells you all your sources of income and how you are applying your income, your cash inflow and your cash outflow. And then you need to track your expenses. It's from tracking that you will know what you have left for saving. Now, you have to create a financial plan for the year. Sometimes you can be for a quarter. What you want to do within this period and how do you want to do it? And then you must have a budget and you must track your expenses. Now, quickly, I want to go to invest well. We already talked about financial literacy. If you're taking anything away from this conversation this evening, it is the fact that you need to be very knowledgeable before you make investments. It's very, very important. You must be very knowledgeable before you make investments. Don't make assumptions. Make sure that you are investing from a position of knowledge. Now, the I in the ESI model says invest well. For you to invest well, you have to be financially literate. You have to do the kind of things that we're doing today. You have to work with someone who would explain investment opportunities and options to you. You must understand to do the things that those people are doing. You must also understand your options. And if you don't understand, and if there's nothing you want to know or you want to take away from investing today, you must understand that you do not put all your eggs in the same basket. You must diversify. Diversification of investments, those that will talk about investments to us would, I'm sure, talk more about that. I do have a little video at the end of this. Oh no, it is here actually. This is a video. I'll play it now just to take a break. Can you please put in the chat box what you understand from this picture and what could have been done differently? Abdurazak Abdurrahman, thank you. You're very right. Yeah. Tell me what could have been done differently by the woman carrying the egg. Okay, it's very simple. She put all the eggs in the same basket, and then there was a mistake. Excellent. She should have put them in several baskets. I think I lost the name of the person who said that. Lawrence Itunoluwa, yeah, she could have divided the eggs. Rotimi Oyekon, learn to put your eggs in different spots. She could have put some in other baskets. Excellent. If she put the egg or held it better with more awareness, I like this aspect. Yes, Oluwadabilari, thank you. But you sent it to the panelists. Send your comments to everyone so that others can see your comments. So Oluwadamilari says, if she had put the egg or held it better, I like this. It means that she did not knowing how to deal with the investments means, how she held the eggs. I like that. Now, but the main message is that if the eggs had been spread in other baskets, then she would not have lost all the eggs. Thank you very much. I'll go quickly to the next concept that I want to share this evening. Because of time, I'll share some tips quickly. Okay, somebody said should have taken it in bits, and I do like that because some of us, we want microwave wealth. That comment was shared to the panelists, not to everybody. We want microwave wealth. We just want it quickly, quickly. So she could also have taken the eggs one by one, so that she takes one safely to one side and then she comes back. Excellent. So other tips for financial freedom. Remember, we started from financial freedom. I already talked about intentionality and being deliberate. Money and wealth will not grow, come to us just by chance. I'm a Christian, and I respect every other person and religions around the call, but I am a Christian, and so I believe in the salvation that the Lord Jesus Christ gives. So I pray a lot. I pray when I have opportunity, but I don't. If I pray from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. for wealth, and I don't take action, even the Bible that I believe in has actions for me to take in order to grow my wealth. So my point this evening is that financial freedom and wealth creation will not come just by chance. Even if we pray, we have to take action. Thank you very much. Prayer without action would not achieve what we wanted to achieve. So we have to be intentional and deliberate. We spoke about that earlier on. Another thing that I want to tell you or discuss with my friends around the call today is the power of networking. Okay? Don't lose your connections. Don't burn bridges. Some of us take offense. And once someone has offended us, either in our place of work or even in the church or in our communities or even within our family circle, we then don't want to, we take offense to the extent that we lose opportunities that can create growth for us. Growth, either wealth-wise and about money that we're talking about today. So there is a lot of power to help you to financial freedom in the people that you surround yourself with. So there are two edges to this. So one is not for you to burn bridges, and then one is for you to deliberately build a network that will help you grow wealth. And so be very careful, especially the young ones around the call this evening. Be very careful about who you allow into your community, into your network, okay? We already talked about financial mentoring and coaching, very important. I talked earlier on about financial education. I talked about clubs and books. I talked already also about financial planning and financial targets. If you don't know where you are going, or if you don't set where you are going, you will not like where you end up. That's what I always like to say about financial targets. If you don't say to yourself that I don't want to be indebted to my friends, then you might end up where you don't like. So you have to set a target and say, even though I can borrow from a bank to start a business, even though I can borrow temporarily from a friend to achieve some results or some goals, I do not want to be known as a perpetual debtor. So that's a target. And some can say, I don't want to, after living in a good apartment, go to sharing an apartment. Or someone can say, today I'm sharing an apartment, but by the time I'm this age, I want to be living by myself. There's several targets that you can set. But my counsel is that if you don't set a target, a financial target that you're working towards, that is guiding your actions and your steps, you will not like where you end up. And that also relates to everyone, no matter your age. Because if you are in your 50s and you're working for an employer and you're not doing the right things, you're not applying the ESI model the way you should, you're not going to like yourself in retirement. I keep saying we need to make sure that we take actions that will help us to retire in dignity. Retire in dignity. And you know, the economy these days also means that we even have to be more intentional and more careful with the kind of decisions that we take with money. Because I'm talking to people who are young, I like to always say, be careful with your digital footprint, okay? What you put online, don't put something that you will regret down the road, or don't put something that will take an opportunity. You don't know what God has in stock for you. So don't shoot yourself in the leg right now by doing something naughty, you know, just for the fun of it. You just want to be on TikTok, you just want to be on Instagram. And you know something that they say, that the internet doesn't forget, it doesn't forgive, it doesn't forget. It does not forgive, it doesn't forget. Now, if you want to apply for an American visa, they will ask you to put your social media handle and try and apply for that American visa. No, don't put your social media handle. They will find out. When they find out, sure, that's even the first thing they will use in rejecting your application. Now, some people may be around the call who are, maybe they want to study down the road, or maybe the organization wants to send them on a training or something, but they've already done very wrong things online. They've already said something nasty, maybe in a moment of craze. I call it craze because sometimes people say what they don't mean. But let's be careful what we put online, whether it be political, religious, or sexual content. Let's just be very careful. I'm happy that the message is very clear, because I can see comments from the chat box that they do understand what I'm talking about. Now, money and relationship. If you're married around the call, excuse me. If you're married around the call, it means you already have a partner. If you're not yet married, I want to encourage you to be careful who you end up with. And now, your relationship with money is one thing. Your money habits is one thing on one side. Now, the person that you want to live your life with, that you want to be married to down the road, also has a relationship with money. It's very important that you understand what your partner's weaknesses are. And I'm not saying if you have a partner who has money weaknesses, I'm not saying don't marry the person. No. I'm just saying understand the your partner's relationship with money. So it's true. This what are their money weaknesses? You need to understand that. Then the second thing is that be very careful in terms of attitude, who you marry. Because the person that you marry, they always say, We either make or marry you. And because this is the focus of this first 3 days, okay, I think maybe it's, am I frozen? I don't think so. So the person you marry may make or marry you. Okay, thank you very much. I'm not frozen. And now I already talked about it, what I said follow earlier on. Be careful. Don't do things because other people are doing it. Don't do things. Don't invest in opportunities because people are doing it. Do your research. Make sure you understand very well. I always say to people that if they tell you to bring to come and invest in something and you don't know how they're going to make the money, then if it is not true, if it is not clear, then or if it is too good to be true, then there's something wrong. You just have to make sure that you understand it. And that's where experts come into play, right? Because you can get people to break things down for you. Yes, thank you, Adewale Sumola. Follow. I like it. I like calling it like that because some people just don't. It's actually don't follow the Joneses, but I always say don't follow. All right. Thank you very much. Now, quickly, there are some mistakes that we all must learn to avoid. We must all avoid it, whether we're young people around the call or oldies around the call. Peer pressure. That's what I was talking about, following the Joneses. Don't do things because someone is asking you to do it. And then I said Coach Shire will talk to us on Saturday about managing debt and creating wealth from managing debt. Now, don't ever borrow wrongly. Make sure that when you're borrowing for the right things. Don't borrow and go and buy iPhone that you don't know how to use because somebody is using iPhone. Impulsive purchases. Pastor Nee is around the call. He will always talk about delayed gratification. Now, don't spend your money before you earn it. These are mistakes that we must avoid. And if you're earning in some sort around the call today, and you're not saving, you're not doing yourself well. Now, don't just say it's only 1 naira jare or it's $1. Never say that. It's poor. Every dollar counts. Every naira counts. Every dollar counts. Every naira counts. It's very important. Otherwise, you look away from things that you should focus on. You look away from things that you should pay attention to. So don't trivialize. It's a dollar that will grow into $1 million. It's 1 naira that will grow into 1 million naira. Now, we talked earlier on about this. We must pay attention to financial literacy. It's a mistake, the money mistake, not to pay attention to financial literacy. Now, yes, thank you. Every dollar counts. I wanted to put your answer in the chat box before I play the next video. I want you to answer yes or no. Can poverty die by fire? Remember, I said I'm a Christian. Capital, no. I have very good students this evening. Yusuf, Oluwadamilare, no, ma. Thank you very much. Ephraim Okpara says no, ma, but by knowledge and actions. Beautiful. Capital, no. All right. I have 6 minutes to go, and we do have some questions. I'm sure our next speaker is around. No, it can only change when the foreman changes his mindset. Anita Weke, thank you. God's treasure. Prayer without works is dead. David Samuel says some poverty people are facing are spiritual. They have to die by fire. Okay. It dies by Isaac Ayodele, thank you very much. It dies by taking necessary action. Alade Jebi Daniel. This is my Christian brother. It dies by taking necessary action. And he also says, I think so, if you can pray very well. Pray very well on top of the actions that you have to take by commitment and dedication. Daniel Marcos, thank you very much. Thank you very much, all. I like that the chat box is very active. I'm going to play this video. I hope I have it. Why is it not playing?